ancient bones, piecing together our past. Histories held in fossil shadows they cast. Knowledge from the ancients, tales we unearth. Societies understood since mankind's birth. Anthropologists in trenches, dirt on their hands, revealing secrets buried deep in lands. Cultural relics, ancient scripts and stones. Sociologists study stats, we're tracing bones. Anthropology, brain sociology fields, understanding life through primordial reels. From the caves to the streets, stories unfold. Ancient rituals, echoes from the old. Carbon dating artifacts, telling time. Living reflections of the lost paradigm. Genes tell a story, evolution scribes. Sociologists and surveys, anthropology vibes. Tribes round the fire, rituals innate. Society's technicolor past and fate. Ethnographic studies, living with the tribe. Sociologists crunching numbers, kinda job. Anthropology, brain sociology fields, understanding life through primordial reels. From the caves to the streets, stories unfold. Ancient rituals, echoes from the old. Anthropologists in trenches, dirt on their hands, revealing secrets buried deep in lands. Cultural relics, ancient scripts and stones. Sociologists study stats, we're chasing bones. Anthropology, brain sociology fields, understanding life through primordial reels. From the caves to the streets, stories unfold. Ancient rituals, echoes from the old. Anthropology, brain sociology fields, understanding life through primordial reels. From the caves to the streets, stories unfold. Ancient rituals, echoes from the old.
Welcome to Introductory Anthropology. This course will serve as your gateway to understanding the human experience in all its complexity. We will embark on a journey through time and space, examining the vast tapestry of human cultures, societies, and behaviors. What is anthropology at its core? Anthropology is the holistic study of humankind. We will delve into four main subfields: cultural anthropology, exploring the diverse cultures and societies of the world, examining their beliefs, practices, and social structures. Archaeology, uncovering the past through the material remains of human activity, such as artifacts, sites, and ecofacts. Biological anthropology, investigating human evolution, genetics, and biological variation across populations. Linguistic anthropology, studying the structure, function, and evolution of human language in its social and cultural contexts. Course objectives: by the end of this course, you will be able to define key anthropological concepts and theories, analyze human societies and cultures from a comparative and holistic perspective, critically evaluate anthropological research methods and data, apply anthropological knowledge to contemporary issues and challenges, develop a deeper understanding of your own place in the world and the interconnectedness of human societies. Computer anthropology is the study of how humans and computers interact, exploring how technology shapes our lives, cultures, and societies. It examines how computers influence our communication, relationships, work, and leisure, and investigates the unique cultures that emerge online, such as gaming communities and social media trends. This field also delves into how people interact with computers, from the design of user interfaces to the ethical considerations of artificial intelligence, and explores the history and evolution of the Internet, its impact on global communication, and the challenges it presents. Course description: this course explores the intricate relationship between humans and computers. We will examine how technology shapes our lives, our cultures, and our societies. Key areas of focus will include the social impact of technology, digital culture, the human-computer interface, and the anthropology of the Internet. Through lectures, discussions, readings, and potentially hands-on projects, students will develop a critical understanding of the profound ways in which technology is interwoven with the human experience. Course objectives: upon successful completion of this course, students will be able to analyze the social and cultural impacts of computer technology, understand the ethical implications of emerging technologies, apply anthropological methods to study digital phenomena, critically evaluate the role of technology in shaping human lives, develop a nuanced understanding of the complexities of the digital age. Required readings: a selection of scholarly articles, book chapters, and online resources will be assigned throughout the semester. Readings will be made available through the course website or library reserves. Assessment: midterm exam 30%. The midterm exam will assess students' understanding of key concepts and theories covered in the first half of the course. Final project 30%. The final project will allow students to delve deeper into a specific topic related to computer anthropology. Options may include: ethnographic project, conduct an in-depth study of a particular online community or digital phenomenon. Research paper, write a research paper on a chosen topic related to computer anthropology. Creative project, develop a creative project that explores the human-computer relationship, e.g. a short film, a website, an interactive installation. 1. The Kongsan of the Kalahari Desert. Subfield: cultural anthropology. Focus: hunter-gatherer society, foraging strategies, social organization, relationship with the environment. Key findings: this research challenged the prevailing Western view of hunter-gatherer life as primitive and brutish. Studies revealed a highly egalitarian and cooperative society with a deep understanding of their environment and a sophisticated social structure. 2. The Nasirema Horus Minor. Subfield: cultural anthropology. Focus: a satirical look at American culture through the eyes of an outsider anthropologist. Key findings: this classic ethnography highlights the importance of cultural relativism and encourages us to critically examine our own cultural practices and beliefs. It demonstrates how seemingly normal or even mundane practices can appear strange and even bizarre when viewed from a different cultural perspective. 3. The XO of the Kalahari Desert. Subfield: biological anthropology. Focus: human adaptation to harsh environments, foraging strategies, impact of environmental change. Key findings: research on the XO has provided valuable insights into human physiological and behavioral adaptations to arid environments. Studies have examined their foraging strategies, nutritional status, and how they cope with environmental challenges such as drought and food scarcity. 4. The Maya civilization. Subfield: archaeology. Focus: complex social organization, monumental architecture, agricultural practices, collapse of civilizations. Key findings: archaeological investigations of Maya sites have revealed a highly sophisticated civilization with advanced knowledge of astronomy, mathematics, and writing. Studying the rise and fall of the Maya provides valuable lessons about the factors that contribute to the success and decline of complex societies. 5. The Piraha people of the Amazon. Subfield: linguistic anthropology. Focus: language structure, relationship between language and thought, cultural transmission of knowledge. Key findings: this research challenges some of the core assumptions of universal grammar, suggesting that language may be more diverse and flexible than previously thought. Studies on the Piraha language have sparked debate about the relationship between language and cognition, and the role of cultural factors in shaping linguistic structures. 6. The Trobriand Islanders. Subfield, Cultural Anthropology. Focus, matrilineal societies, kinship systems, sexuality, ritual practices. Key findings: research on the Trobriand Islanders has challenged Western assumptions about family structures and gender roles. Studies have highlighted the importance of matrilineal descent, the role of women in economic and social life, and the unique cultural expressions of sexuality. 7. The Neanderthals. Subfield, Biological Anthropology. Focus, human evolution, interbreeding with modern humans, cultural practices, extinction. Key findings: recent research using genetic and archaeological evidence has revealed a more complex picture of Neanderthal behavior and their relationship with modern humans. Studies suggest interbreeding occurred between Neanderthals and modern humans, and that Neanderthals possess sophisticated cultural practices, including the use of tools and fire. 8. The Ancient Egyptians. Subfield, Archaeology. Focus, mummification, religious beliefs, social hierarchy, monumental architecture, technological advancements. Key findings: archaeological excavations of Egyptian tombs and temples have provided invaluable insights into their complex religious beliefs, social organization, and technological achievements. Studies have revealed a highly developed civilization with advanced knowledge of medicine, engineering, and astronomy. 9. The Hopi people. Subfield, Cultural Anthropology. Focus, religion, mythology, kinship, social organization, traditional agriculture. Key findings: research on the Hopi people has provided valuable insights into Native American cultures, their religious beliefs, and their intricate relationship with the natural world. Studies have examined their traditional agricultural practices, their complex kinship systems, and their rich oral traditions. 10. The Inuit people of the Arctic. Subfield, Cultural Anthropology and Biological Anthropology. Focus, adaptation to extreme cold, hunting and gathering strategies, social organization, cultural beliefs. Key findings: research on the Inuit people has provided valuable insights into human adaptation to extreme environments. Studies have examined their specialized hunting and gathering techniques, their innovative use of technology, and their unique cultural beliefs and practices. Week 1, Key considerations for Week 1 with case studies in mind. Understand the scope of anthropology, holistic perspective. Recognize that anthropology examines humans from a broad perspective, encompassing biology, culture, language, and the past. Point 1. Case study examples. Consider how the Kongsan cultural and biological and the Neanderthals biological and archaeological exemplify this holistic approach. Grasp core concepts. Culture. Define culture and understand its key characteristics: learned, shared, symbolic. How do the Nasirema and the Trobriand Islanders illustrate cultural diversity and the importance of cultural relativism? Ethnography. Understand the process of ethnographic fieldwork. Participant observation, interviews. Point 2. How might an ethnographer study the Kongsan or the Hopi people evolution, if applicable to your course? Grasp basic evolutionary principles. How do the case studies of the Neanderthals and human evolution relate to this? Develop critical thinking skills, question assumptions, challenge your own cultural biases. How does the Nasirema case study encourage you to critically examine your own cultural practices? Analyze data, begin to think about how anthropologists gather and interpret data. Archaeological evidence, ethnographic observations, linguistic analysis. How do archaeologists reconstruct the lives of the Maya or the ancient Egyptians? Engage with the readings. Active reading, don't just skim. Take notes, highlight key passages, and ask yourself questions about the readings. Case study connections, relate the readings to the case studies presented. How do the concepts discussed in the readings apply to the experiences of the Kongsan, the Trobriand and Islanders, or other groups? Start building connections, subfield interconnections, recognize how the different subfields of anthropology, cultural, archaeological, biological, linguistic intersect and inform each other. Point 3. How do the case studies of the exobiological and the Inuit cultural and biological demonstrate this? 11. The Yanomami of the Amazon. Subfield, cultural anthropology. Focus, violence, warfare, kinship, gender roles, impact of contact with outsiders. Key findings: the Yanomami, known for their aggressive behavior, have been extensively studied by anthropologists. Point 1. Research has explored the role of violence in their society, their complex kinship systems, and the impact of contact with missionaries and minors. 12. The Samoans. Subfield, cultural anthropology. Focus, social hierarchy, chiefly system, gender roles, religion. Key findings: research on Samoan society has highlighted the importance of chiefly authority, the role of women in social and political life, and the interconnectedness of religion, kinship, and social status. 13. The Kongsan of the Kalahari Desert continued. Subfield, biological anthropology and cultural anthropology. Focus, hunter-gatherer adaptation, impact of colonialism and globalization, health and nutrition. Key findings: continued research on the Kongsan has focused on the impact of colonialism, globalization, and changing environmental conditions on their traditional way of life. Studies have examined their health, nutrition, and the challenges they face in adapting to modern society. 14. The Aztec civilization. Subfield, archaeology. Focus, human sacrifice, religion, social organization, urban planning, collapse of the civilization. Key findings: archaeological investigations of Aztec sites have revealed a powerful and complex civilization with a sophisticated urban infrastructure and a complex religious system. Point 2. Studies have explored the role of human sacrifice in Aztec society and the factors that contributed to their eventual decline. Point 3. 15. The Japanese. Subfield, cultural anthropology. Focus, collectivism, social harmony, cultural values, modernization, impact of globalization. Key findings: research on Japanese society has explored concepts such as collectivism, social harmony, and the importance of group identity. Point 4. Studies have examined how Japanese culture has been shaped by modernization, globalization, and its encounter with Western cultures. Point 5. Certainly, here are 5 more case studies in the same format. 16. The Maasai of East Africa. Subfield, cultural anthropology. Focus, pastoralism, cattle herding, social organization, ritual practices, impact of modernization. Point 1. Key findings: research on the Maasai has explored their traditional pastoralist lifestyle, their intricate social hierarchy, and their rich cultural heritage. Point 2. Studies have also examined the impact of modernization, such as tourism and conservation efforts, on their livelihoods and cultural practices. Point 3. 17. The Inuit of the Arctic continued. Subfield, biological anthropology and cultural anthropology. Focus, climate change, environmental adaptation, traditional knowledge, health impacts. Key findings: continued research on the Inuit focuses on the impacts of climate change on their environment and livelihoods. Studies have examined the effects of climate change on hunting and fishing practices, the loss of sea ice, and the challenges of adapting to a changing Arctic environment. Point 4. 18. The Hmong of Southeast Asia. Subfield, cultural anthropology. Focus, migration, refugee experiences, cultural identity, traditional medicine, shamanism. Key findings: research on the Hmong people has explored their experiences of displacement, migration, and resettlement in new countries. 5 studies have examined their cultural identity, their traditional healing practices such as shamanism, and the challenges they face in maintaining their cultural traditions in new contexts. 19. The Yoruba of Nigeria. Subfield: Cultural Anthropology. Focus: religion, art, music, social organization, political systems. Key findings: research on the Yoruba has explored their rich religious traditions, including their belief in multiple deities and the importance of ancestor veneration. 6 studies have also examined their vibrant artistic expressions, including music, dance, and sculpture. 7. 20. The Romani people of Europe. Subfield: Cultural Anthropology. Focus: migration, discrimination, cultural identity, music, language. Key findings: research on the Romani people has explored their history of migration across Europe, their experiences of discrimination and persecution, and their unique cultural identity, which includes a rich musical tradition and a distinct language. 8. Week 2, Culture, move beyond a basic definition. Explore the complexities of culture, such as its dynamic nature, its relationship to power, and how it shapes individual experiences. Consider how the concept of culture applies to the case studies of the Kungsan, the Trobriand Islanders, and the Nasirema. Ethnocentrism versus cultural relativism. Understand the difference between these two perspectives and their implications for anthropological research. How can we avoid ethnocentrism when studying other cultures? Explore key theoretical perspectives. Evolutionary theory, if covered in your course, delve deeper into evolutionary theory and its impact on anthropological thought. How does evolutionary theory help us understand human variation and adaptation, as seen in the case studies of the Neanderthals and the Inuit? Other theoretical frameworks begin to explore other theoretical perspectives, such as functionalism, structuralism, or symbolic anthropology. How do these theories help us understand different aspects of culture and society? Engage with ethnographic methods, participant observation. Understand the principles and challenges of participant observation as a key ethnographic method. How might an anthropologist use participant observation to study the Yanomami or the Maasai interviewing techniques? Explore different types of interviews used in ethnographic research: structured, unstructured, semi-structured. Connect theory to case studies, analyze case studies, apply the theoretical concepts and methodological approaches learned in class to the case studies presented. How can we use these concepts to understand the social organization of the Kungsan, the religious beliefs of the Maya, or the kinship systems of the Trobriand Islanders? Develop critical thinking and writing skills, analyze readings, go beyond summarizing readings. Critically analyze the arguments presented, identify the author's main points, and evaluate the evidence used to support their claims. Develop clear arguments, begin to formulate your own arguments and support them with evidence from the readings and case studies. 21. The Himba of Namibia. Subfield: Cultural Anthropology. Focus: pastoralism, gender roles, body adornment, environmental adaptation, impact of tourism. Key findings: research on the Himba people has explored their unique cultural practices, including their distinctive red ochre body adornment, their egalitarian gender roles, and their traditional pastoralist lifestyle. Studies have also examined the impact of tourism on their livelihoods and cultural identity. 1. 22. The Dogon of Mali. Subfield: Cultural Anthropology. Focus: religion, cosmology, art, architecture, Social organization. Point 2. Key findings: research on the Dogon people has explored their complex religious beliefs, including their cosmology and their intricate relationship with the natural world. Studies have also examined their impressive architectural achievements and their vibrant artistic expressions, particularly in sculpture and textiles. Point 3. 23. The Nuer of South Sudan. Subfield: Cultural Anthropology. Focus: kinship, lineage systems, cattle herding, warfare, political organization. Key findings: research on the Nuer people has explored their complex kinship and lineage systems, their reliance on cattle herding, and their traditional forms of political organization. Studies have also examined the impact of conflict and displacement on their social and cultural structures. 24. The Kongsan of the Kalahari Desert continued. Subfield: Cultural Anthropology and Biological Anthropology. Focus: indigenous rights, land rights, environmental conservation, cultural revitalization. Key findings: continued research on the Kongsan focuses on their ongoing struggles for land rights and cultural recognition. Studies have examined their efforts to revitalize their cultural traditions, to conserve their environment, and to advocate for their rights in the face of development pressures. 25. The Sami people of the Arctic. Subfield: Cultural Anthropology and Biological Anthropology. Focus: indigenous rights, reindeer herding, environmental change, cultural identity, language revitalization. Key findings: research on the Sami people has explored their traditional reindeer herding practices, their cultural identity, and their struggles for land rights and self-determination. Point 4. Studies have also examined the impacts of climate change on their livelihoods and the efforts to revitalize the Sami language. Point 5. 26. The Ainu of Japan. Subfield: Cultural Anthropology. Focus: indigenous people of Japan, cultural identity, discrimination, traditional crafts, language revitalization. Key findings: research on the Ainu people has explored their unique cultural identity, their traditional crafts such as wood carving and embroidery, and their experiences of discrimination in Japanese society. Point 1. Studies have also examined efforts to revitalize the Ainu language and culture. Point 2. 27. The Maori of New Zealand. Subfield: Cultural Anthropology. Focus: indigenous people of New Zealand, Treaty of Waitangi, cultural revitalization, language revitalization, traditional arts. Maori art, haka. Key findings: research on the Maori people has explored their history, their relationship with the New Zealand government as outlined in the Treaty of Waitangi, and their efforts to revitalize their language Te Reo Maori and cultural traditions, including the performance arts haka, poi, etc. 28. The Apache of North America. Subfield: Cultural Anthropology. Focus: indigenous people of North America, history of conflict with the U.S. government, cultural resilience, religious beliefs, traditional crafts. Key findings: research on the Apache people has explored their history of conflict with the U.S. government, their cultural resilience in the face of oppression, their traditional religious beliefs, and their artistic expressions, including beadwork, basketry, and silversmithing. 29. The Bedouin of the Arabian Peninsula. Subfield: Cultural Anthropology. Focus: nomadic pastoralism, kinship systems, social organization, impact of modernization, environmental change. Key findings: research on the Bedouin people has explored their traditional nomadic lifestyle, their complex kinship systems, their social organization, and the impact of modernization and environmental change on their livelihoods and cultural traditions. 30. The Yoruba of Nigeria continued. Subfield: Religious Studies and Cultural Anthropology. Focus, Religion, Divination, Orisha Worship, Music, Dance, Social Change. Key findings: continued research on the Yoruba has explored their complex religious system, including the worship of Orisha deities, the role of divination in everyday life, and the impact of globalization and social change on their religious beliefs and practices. Midterm exam. Course, Introductory Anthropology. Instructions: this exam consists of 2 parts, multiple choice 50 points, answer the following multiple choice questions to the best of your ability. Essay 50 points, choose one of the following essay prompts and write a well-developed essay approximately 500 to 750 words that addresses the prompt thoroughly. Multiple choice questions: which of the following is not a core subfield of anthropology? A, cultural anthropology; B, archaeology; C, biological anthropology; D, sociology. What is the primary method used by cultural anthropologists to gather data? A, laboratory experiments; B, surveys; C, participant observation; D, historical documents. What does the term ethnocentrism refer to? A, the belief that one's own culture is superior to others. Point 1, B, the practice of understanding other cultures on their own terms. C, the study of different cultures from a comparative perspective. D, the use of fieldwork methods to study other cultures. Which case study best exemplifies the concept of cultural relativism? A, the Nasarema; B, the Neanderthals; C, the Maya civilization; D, the Kungsan. What is the primary focus of biological anthropology? A, the study of human language and communication. B, the study of human evolution and biological variation. Point 2, C, the study of the material remains of past human cultures. D, the study of the social and cultural impacts of technology. Which case study highlights the importance of kinship systems in human societies? A, the Trobriand Islanders; B, the Nasarema; C, the Maya civilization; D, the Inuit people. What is the primary goal of archaeological research? A, to understand the history of human societies through the study of material remains. Point 3, B, to predict future cultural trends. C, to preserve ancient artifacts and sites. D, to create museum exhibits for public education. Which case study demonstrates the impact of colonialism on indigenous populations? A, the Kungsan; B, the Maya civilization; C, the ancient Egyptians; D, the Trobriand Islanders. What is the significance of the concept of holism in anthropology? It emphasizes the importance of studying all aspects of human experience. B, it focuses solely on the biological aspects of human existence. C, it prioritizes the study of Western cultures. D, it rejects the use of scientific methods in anthropological research. Which case study explores the relationship between language and culture? A, the Neanderthals; B, the Piraha people; C, the ancient Egyptians; D, the XO of the Kalahari Desert. Essay prompts: choose one of the following essay prompts and write a well-developed essay that addresses the prompt thoroughly. Cultural relativism vs. ethnocentrism. Discuss the concepts of cultural relativism and ethnocentrism in detail. Using at least 2 case studies from the course, analyze how these concepts can be applied to understand different cultures and their practices. The impact of globalization. Select 2 case studies from the course and analyze how globalization has impacted their societies and cultures. Discuss the challenges and opportunities that globalization presents for these groups. The role of technology in human societies. Drawing on the concepts of computer anthropology, discuss the impact of technology on human communication, relationships, and culture. Use specific examples to illustrate your points. Grading rubric, multiple choice, each question is worth 5 points. Essay, clarity and organization, 20 points. Depth of analysis, 20 points. Use of evidence, 10 points. Grammar and mechanics, 10 points. 31 The San. Subfield, cultural anthropology, Biological anthropology. Focus, hunter-gatherer societies, foraging strategies, impact of colonialism and globalization, indigenous rights. Key findings, research on the San people, which includes the Kung and XO, has highlighted the diversity within hunter-gatherer societies and the challenges they face in the modern world, including land dispossession, loss of traditional livelihoods, and the impact of disease. 32. The Beauty Pygmies. Subfield, Cultural Anthropology, Biological Anthropology. Focus, forest-dwelling hunter-gatherers, egalitarian social structure, music and dance, impact of deforestation and resource extraction. Point 1. Key findings, studies on the Beauty Pygmies have emphasized their deep connection to the forest environment, their egalitarian social structure, and the importance of music and dance in their culture. Point 2. Research has also documented the threats they face from deforestation, resource extraction, and encroachment on their traditional lands. Point 3. 33. The J.O.L.A.L.F of Papua New Guinea. Subfield, Cultural Anthropology. Focus, child-rearing practices, gender roles, ritual practices, music and dance, impact of Christianity. Key findings, research on the J.O.L.A.L.F has explored their unique child-rearing practices, their complex gender roles, and the importance of music and dance in their social and emotional lives. Studies have also examined the impact of Christian missionaries on their traditional beliefs and practices. 34. The Xhosa of South Africa. Subfield, Cultural Anthropology, History. Focus, colonialism, apartheid, resistance movements, cultural revitalization, traditional medicine. Key findings, research on the Xhosa people has explored their history of resistance against colonialism and apartheid, their cultural revitalization movements, and their contributions to South African culture, including their traditional medicine and artistic expressions. 35. The Quechua of the Andes. Subfield, Cultural Anthropology, Archaeology. Focus, Andean civilization, indigenous knowledge, agriculture, textiles, impact of globalization. Point 4. Key findings, research on the Quechua people has explored their ancient Andean heritage, their sophisticated agricultural practices, and their intricate textile traditions. Studies have also examined the impact of globalization, including migration and urbanization, on their livelihoods and cultural identity. Point 5. 36. The Inuit of the Arctic continued. Subfield, Cultural Anthropology, Biological Anthropology, Environmental Studies. Focus, climate change, environmental adaptation, traditional knowledge, indigenous rights, self-determination. Key findings, continued research on the Inuit focuses on the impacts of climate change on their livelihoods, their traditional knowledge of the environment, and their struggles for self-determination and environmental protection in the face of resource extraction and climate change. 37. The Sami of Scandinavia. Subfield, Cultural Anthropology, Archaeology, Environmental Studies. Focus, indigenous rights, reindeer herding, environmental change, cultural revitalization, language revitalization. Key findings, research on the Sami people continues to explore the impacts of climate change on their reindeer herding practices, their struggles for land rights and self-determination, and their efforts to revitalize their language and cultural traditions in the face of globalization. Point 1. 38. The Maya of Central America continued. Subfield, Archaeology, Cultural Anthropology, History. Focus, Post-conquest history, indigenous resistance, cultural revitalization, archaeology of the contemporary Maya. Key findings, continued research on the Maya focuses on the post-conquest history of Maya communities, their ongoing struggles for land rights and cultural recognition, and the contemporary expressions of Maya culture, including art, music, and religion. 39. The Australian Aboriginals. Subfield: Cultural Anthropology, Archaeology, History. Focus: Aboriginal Australian history, land rights, cultural revitalisation, Dreamtime, Indigenous knowledge. Key findings: research on Aboriginal Australians explores their ancient history, their unique cultural traditions including the Dreamtime, the impact of European colonization, and their ongoing struggles for land rights and self-determination. 40. The Romani people of Europe continued. Subfield: Cultural Anthropology, Sociology, History. Focus: Human rights, discrimination, social exclusion, cultural identity, Romani music and dance. Key findings: continued research on the Romani people focuses on the ongoing challenges they face, including discrimination, social exclusion, and human rights violations. 2 Studies also examine their resilience, their contributions to European culture particularly in music and dance, and their efforts to combat prejudice and discrimination. Week 4, Deepen understanding of theoretical frameworks, functionalism. Explore how functionalism explains how different aspects of a culture contribute to the overall functioning of society. Consider how this perspective might apply to the case studies of the Trobriand Islanders or the Newer. Structuralism. Understand the underlying structures and patterns that shape human thought and behavior. How might structuralist ideas help us understand kinship systems, myths, and rituals, as seen in the case studies of the Dogon or the Yoruba? Symbolic anthropology. Explore how symbols and rituals convey meaning and shape social identity. Consider how symbolic anthropology might help us understand the significance of rituals in the lives of the Hopi or the Dogon. Examine power and inequality, colonialism and its legacy. Analyze the impact of colonialism on indigenous populations, such as the Kungsan, the Inuit, and the Australian Aboriginals. Social stratification. Explore how social hierarchies and inequalities are created and maintained within different societies. Consider the case studies of the Samoans, the Aztec, and the Japanese. Gender roles and inequalities. Examine how gender roles and inequalities are constructed and maintained within different cultures. Consider the case studies of the Trobriand Islanders, the Himba, and the Yanomami. Engage with ethical considerations, ethical research practices. Understand the ethical dilemmas faced by anthropologists in their research, such as informed consent, cultural sensitivity, and the potential impact of research on the communities they study. Power dynamics in research. Consider the power dynamics that exist between researchers and the people they study. Refine critical thinking and writing skills. Comparative analysis. Compare and contrast different case studies to identify similarities, differences, and broader patterns. For example, compare the kinship systems of the Trobriand Islanders and the Newer. Develop strong arguments. Construct well-supported arguments using evidence from the readings, lectures, and case studies. Case Study 41, The Rise of Online Gaming Communities. Subfield, Computer Anthropology. Focus, Online communities, social interaction, identity formation, virtual economies, esports. Key findings. This case study explores how online gaming communities function as social and cultural spaces. It examines how players develop shared identities, create social hierarchies, and engage in complex social interactions within virtual worlds. Research investigates the emergence of virtual economies, the rise of esports as a professional sport, and the cultural significance of online gaming. Case Study 42, The Anthropology of Social Media. Subfield, Computer Anthropology. Focus, Social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, social networking, self-presentation, social movements, misinformation, mental health. Key findings: this case study examines how social media platforms shape social interactions, influence self-presentation and identity formation, and facilitate the spread of information and misinformation. It explores the role of social media in social movements, political discourse, and the impact on mental health and well-being. Case Study 43, The Digital Divide. Subfield, Computer Anthropology. Focus, Access to Technology, Digital Literacy, Social Inequalities, the Impact of Technology on Marginalized Communities. Key findings: this case study investigates the disparities in access to and use of technology across different social groups. It examines how the digital divide exacerbates existing social inequalities and impacts opportunities for education, employment, and social participation. Point 1. Case Study 44, The Sharing Economy and the Gig Economy. Subfield, Computer Anthropology. Focus, platforms like Uber, Airbnb, TaskRabbit, online marketplaces, the changing nature of work, labor practices, social relations. Key findings: this case study explores the rise of the sharing economy and the gig economy, examining how these platforms transform work practices, social relations, and economic structures. It investigates the impact on workers' rights, income security, and the changing nature of employment. Case Study 45, Artificial Intelligence and Society. Subfield, Computer Anthropology, Science and Technology Studies. Focus, AI technologies: machine learning, deep learning, robotics, automation, ethical considerations, social impact, the future of work. Key findings: this case study examines the social and cultural implications of artificial intelligence technologies. It explores the ethical considerations surrounding AI development and deployment, the potential impact on employment and the workforce, and the changing relationship between humans and machines. Case Study 46, The Rise of Cryptocurrency and Blockchain. Subfield, Computer Anthropology, Economics, Sociology. Focus, Bitcoin, blockchain technology, decentralized finance DeFi, cryptocurrency communities, social and economic impacts. Key findings: this case study examines the rise of cryptocurrency and blockchain technology, exploring their social, economic, and cultural implications. It investigates the emergence of cryptocurrency communities, the development of decentralized finance DeFi, and the potential impact of these technologies on global financial systems and social structures. Case Study 47, The Anthropology of the Internet of Things (IoT). Subfield, Computer Anthropology, Sociology, Science and Technology Studies. Focus, Smart homes, wearable devices, connected devices, data privacy, surveillance, the Internet of Things ecosystem. Key findings: this case study explores the social and cultural implications of the Internet of Things, examining how the increasing connectivity of everyday objects is transforming our homes, our bodies, and our relationships with technology. It investigates issues of data privacy, surveillance, and the ethical considerations surrounding the collection and use of data generated by IoT devices. Case Study 48, The Digital Divide in Education. Subfield, Computer Anthropology, Education. Focus, Access to Technology and the Internet in Education, Digital Literacy, Equity in Education, Online Learning Platforms, the Impact of Technology on Teaching and Learning. Key findings: this case study examines the disparities in access to technology and the Internet in educational settings. It investigates how these disparities impact student learning outcomes, exacerbate existing educational inequalities, and shape the future of education. Case Study 49, The Cultural Impact of Streaming Services. Subfield, Computer Anthropology, Media Studies, Cultural Studies. Focus, Streaming platforms Netflix, Spotify, YouTube, music consumption, film and television consumption, cultural production, the impact on traditional media industries. Key findings. This case study examines the cultural impact of streaming services on music consumption, film and television viewing habits, and the production of cultural content. It investigates how streaming platforms are changing the way we consume media, the impact on the creative industries, and the implications for cultural diversity. Case Study 50, The Anthropology of Virtual Reality and Augmented Reality. Subfield, Computer Anthropology, Media Studies, Human-Computer Interaction. Focus, Virtual Reality VR and Augmented Reality AR technologies, immersive experiences, social interactions, gaming, healthcare, education, ethical considerations. Key findings. This case study explores the social and cultural implications of VR and AR technologies. It examines how these technologies are changing our experiences of reality, shaping social interactions, and transforming various sectors such as gaming, healthcare, education, and entertainment. It also investigates the ethical considerations surrounding the use of VR and AR technologies, such as privacy concerns, potential for addiction, and the impact on social relationships. Week 5. Broader themes, the social impact of technology, how technology shapes social interactions, relationships, and identities. The digital divide, inequalities in access to and use of technology and their consequences. The changing nature of work, the impact of technology on employment, labor practices, and the economy. Ethical considerations, privacy, surveillance, algorithmic bias, the responsible development and use of technology. The future of human-technology interaction, how technology is changing our experiences of reality, our relationships with each other, and the very nature of being human. Specific considerations for each case study. Case Study 41, Online Gaming Communities. How do online games create social spaces and foster community? How do players develop shared identities and social hierarchies within these communities? What are the economic and cultural implications of esports? Case Study 42, Social Media. How do social media platforms shape self-presentation and identity formation? What is the role of social media in social movements and political discourse? What are the impacts of social media on mental health and well-being? How does social media contribute to the spread of information and misinformation? Case Study 43, The Digital Divide. How does access to technology vary across different social groups? How does the digital divide exacerbate existing social inequalities? What are the implications of the digital divide for education, employment, and social participation? Case Study 44, Sharing Economy and Gig Economy. How are platforms like Uber and Airbnb transforming work practices and social relations? What are the implications for workers' rights, income security, and the changing nature of employment? Case Study 45, Artificial Intelligence. What are the ethical considerations surrounding the development and deployment of AI? How will AI impact employment and the future of work? What are the changing relationships between humans and machines? Case Study 46, Cryptocurrency and Blockchain. What are the social, economic, and cultural implications of cryptocurrency and blockchain technology? How are cryptocurrency communities emerging and evolving? What is the potential impact of these technologies on global financial systems and social structures? Case Study 47, Internet of Things. How is the increasing connectivity of everyday objects transforming our lives? What are the privacy and surveillance concerns associated with IoT devices? What are the ethical considerations surrounding the collection and use of data generated by IoT devices? Case Study 48 Digital Divide in Education. How do disparities in access to technology impact student learning outcomes? How can we ensure equity in education in the digital age? What are the implications of technology for the future of teaching and learning? Case Study 49 Streaming Services. How are streaming services changing the way we consume media? What is the impact of streaming platforms on the creative industries? What are the implications for cultural diversity and accessibility? Case Study 50 Virtual and Augmented Reality. How are VR and AR technologies changing our experiences of reality and social interactions? What are the potential applications of VR and AR in various sectors: gaming, healthcare, education? What are the ethical considerations surrounding the use of VR and AR technologies? Case Study 51, The Anthropology of Surveillance. Subfield: Anthropology, Sociology, Science and Technology Studies. Focus: Surveillance technologies, CCTV, facial recognition, data mining, privacy, power, social control, ethical considerations. Key findings: this case study examines how surveillance technologies shape social behavior, power dynamics, and individual freedoms. It investigates the ethical implications of data collection and analysis, the potential for abuse of surveillance powers, and the impact on social trust and individual autonomy. Case Study 52, The Digitalization of Healthcare. Subfield: Medical Anthropology, Computer Science, Public Health. Focus: Telemedicine, Electronic Health Records, AI in Healthcare, Wearable Devices, the impact on patient care, access to healthcare, and healthcare delivery systems. Key findings: this case study explores the social and cultural implications of digital technologies in healthcare. It examines how these technologies are transforming patient care, improving access to healthcare services, and impacting the doctor-patient relationship. It also investigates the ethical considerations surrounding data privacy, security, and the equitable distribution of digital health resources. Case Study 53, The Anthropology of Open Source Software. Subfield: Computer Anthropology, Sociology, Science and Technology Studies. Focus: Open source software development, collaborative communities, digital commons, intellectual property, the ethics of knowledge sharing. Key findings: this case study examines the social and cultural dynamics of open source software development communities. It explores how these communities function, the values that guide their work, and the impact of open source software on innovation, access to technology, and the distribution of knowledge. Case Study 54, The Role of Technology in Disaster Relief and Response. Subfield: Disaster Studies, Anthropology, Computer Science. Focus: Emergency Communication Systems, Crowdsourcing Platforms, Data-Driven Disaster Response, the use of technology in humanitarian aid, the ethical considerations of technology deployment in crisis situations. Key findings: this case study explores the role of technology in disaster relief and response efforts. It examines how technologies are used to communicate with affected populations, coordinate relief efforts, assess damage, and provide humanitarian assistance. It also investigates the ethical challenges and potential pitfalls of using technology in crisis situations. Case Study 55, The Anthropology of the Metaverse. Subfield: Computer Anthropology, Media Studies, Sociology. Focus: Virtual and augmented reality platforms, immersive experiences, social interaction, economic activity, the future of the Internet, ethical considerations. Key findings: this case study examines the emerging field of the metaverse, exploring the social, cultural, and economic implications of these immersive digital environments. It investigates how users interact within these virtual worlds, the potential for new forms of social organization and economic activity, and the ethical challenges associated with the development and use of metaverse technologies. Case Study 56, The Anthropology of Algorithms, Subfield, Computer Anthropology, Sociology, Science, and Technology Studies Focus, Algorithmic Bias, Machine Learning, Predictive Policing, Social Sorting, the Impact of Algorithms on Social Justice and Equity. Key Findings: this case study examines how algorithms are shaping social life and influencing decision-making in various domains. It investigates the potential for algorithmic bias to reproduce and exacerbate existing social inequalities, and explores the ethical considerations surrounding the development and deployment of algorithmic systems. Case Study 57, The Digitalization of Everyday Life. Subfield, Computer Anthropology, Sociology, Cultural Studies Focus, Ubiquitous Computing, the Internet of Things, Smart Homes, Wearable Technology, the Impact on Daily Routines, Social Interactions, and the Experience of Everyday Life. Key Findings: this case study explores how digital technologies are increasingly integrated into the fabric of everyday life. It examines how these technologies are changing our habits, our relationships, and our experiences of space and time. It also investigates the potential impacts on privacy, autonomy, and the quality of life. Case Study 58, The Anthropology of Online Communities and Platforms. Subfield, Computer Anthropology, Sociology, Media Studies Focus, Online Forums, Social Media Platforms, Online Communities, Platform Governance, the power dynamics between platforms and users, the role of algorithms in shaping online experiences. Key Findings: this case study examines the social and cultural dynamics of online communities and platforms. It explores how these platforms are shaping public discourse, facilitating social movements, and influencing political processes. It also investigates the power dynamics between platforms and users, and the ethical considerations surrounding platform governance. Case Study 59, The Anthropology of Data. Subfield, Computer Anthropology, Sociology, Science, and Technology Studies Focus, Data Collection, Data Analysis, Data Visualization, Data-Driven Decision-Making, the Value of Data, the ethical implications of data collection and use, data privacy, and security. Key Findings: this case study examines the social and cultural implications of the increasing importance of data in contemporary society. It explores how data is collected, analyzed, and used in various contexts, and investigates the ethical considerations surrounding data ownership, privacy, and the potential for data to be used to manipulate and control individuals. Case Study 60, The Anthropology of the Digital Divide in the Global South. Subfield, Development Anthropology, Computer Anthropology, Sociology Focus, Access to Technology in Developing Countries, Digital Literacy, the Impact of Technology on Economic Development, Social Inequalities, and Cultural Change in the Global South. Key Findings: this case study examines the specific challenges and opportunities presented by the digital divide in developing countries. It explores how access to technology and digital literacy can contribute to economic development and social progress, while also investigating the potential for technology to exacerbate existing inequalities and marginalization. Week 6, Final Case Studies. Case Study 61, The Anthropology of Robotics. Subfield, Computer Anthropology, Science and Technology Studies, Sociology Focus, Robotics, Artificial Intelligence, Automation, Human-Robot Interaction, Ethical considerations, the future of work. Key findings. This case study examines the social and cultural implications of the increasing presence of robots in society. It explores the impact of robotics on employment, the changing nature of work, the development of human-robot relationships, and the ethical considerations surrounding the design and deployment of robots. Case Study 62, The Anthropology of Gaming. Subfield, Media Anthropology, Cultural Studies, Sociology Focus, Video Games, Mobile Gaming, Esports, Gaming Culture, Identity Formation, Social Interaction, the impact of gaming on mental health and well-being. Key findings. This case study examines the social and cultural significance of gaming. It explores how games shape social interactions, influence identity formation, and contribute to the development of new forms of culture and community. It also investigates the impact of gaming on mental health, addiction, and the development of cognitive and social skills. Case Study 63, The Anthropology of the Digital Commons. Subfield, Computer Anthropology, Sociology, Law Focus, Open Source Software, Creative Commons, Wikipedia, Digital Libraries, the Sharing Economy, Intellectual Property Rights, the Ethics of Knowledge Sharing and Access to Information. Key findings. This case study examines the social and cultural dynamics of the digital commons, exploring how individuals and communities collaborate to create and share knowledge, resources, and creative works. It investigates the ethical and legal challenges surrounding the creation and maintenance of digital commons, and the impact of these commons on innovation, access to information, and social justice. Case Study 64, The Anthropology of Online Education. Subfield, Education Anthropology, Computer Anthropology, Sociology Focus, Online Learning Platforms, Distance Education, E-Learning, the impact on teaching and learning, access to education, equity and inclusion, the future of higher education. Key findings. This case study examines the social and cultural implications of online education. It explores how online learning platforms are transforming the educational landscape, impacting teaching and learning practices, and influencing access to education. It also investigates the challenges and opportunities presented by online education, including issues of equity, accessibility, and the quality of online learning experiences. Case Study 65, The Anthropology of the Digital Self. Subfield, Media Anthropology, Cultural Studies, Psychology Focus, Online Identities, Self-Presentation, Digital Footprint, Data Privacy, Surveillance, the impact of technology on self-perception and self-esteem. Key findings. This case study examines how digital technologies are shaping our understanding of selfhood. It explores how individuals present themselves online, how online interactions influence self-perception and self-esteem, and the ethical considerations surrounding the collection and use of personal data. It also investigates the impact of technology on our sense of self and our relationships with others. Case Study 66, The Anthropology of AI in the Workplace. Subfield, Work and Organizational Studies, Computer Anthropology, Sociology Focus, Automation, Job Displacement, the Future of Work, AI-powered decision-making in hiring and promotion, the impact of AI on workplace culture and employee well-being. Key findings. This case study examines how AI technologies are transforming the workplace. It investigates the impact of automation on jobs and employment, the ethical considerations surrounding AI-powered decision-making in hiring and promotion, and the changing nature of work and the employee experience in the age of AI. Case Study 67, The Anthropology of Digital Inequality. Subfield, Development Anthropology, Sociology, political science focus, access to technology and the internet in marginalized communities, digital literacy, the impact of digital inequality on social and economic mobility, policy interventions to address the digital divide. Key findings: this case study examines the multifaceted nature of digital inequality, exploring how factors such as income, race, ethnicity, gender, and geographic location contribute to disparities in access to and use of technology. It investigates the social and economic consequences of digital inequality and explores potential policy solutions to bridge the digital divide. Case Study 68, The Anthropology of Digital Citizenship. Subfield: Political Anthropology, Media Studies, Sociology Focus, Online Activism, Digital Rights, Online Censorship, the Role of Technology in Democratic Processes, the Spread of Misinformation and Disinformation, the Ethical Use of Technology in Civic Engagement. Key findings: this case study examines the role of technology in shaping citizenship in the digital age. It explores how individuals participate in civic life online, the challenges of online censorship and misinformation, and the ethical considerations surrounding the use of technology in political discourse and social activism. Case Study 69, The Anthropology of Big Data. Subfield: Sociology, Data Science, Science and Technology Studies Focus, Data Collection, Data Mining, Data Analysis, Data Visualization, the use of big data in decision-making, the ethical and social implications of data-driven societies, privacy concerns, surveillance. Key findings: this case study examines the social and cultural implications of the rise of big data. It explores how organizations and governments are using large data sets to make decisions, the ethical and social implications of data-driven decision-making, and the challenges of ensuring data privacy and security in a data-driven world. Case Study 70, The Anthropology of Technology and the Environment. Subfield: Environmental Anthropology, Science and Technology Studies, Ecology Focus, Climate Change, Environmental Sustainability, Renewable Energy Technologies, Environmental Monitoring, the Role of Technology in Environmental Conservation and Restoration, the Ethical Use of Technology in Environmental Management. Key findings: this case study examines the complex relationship between technology and the environment. It explores how technology contributes to environmental problems, such as climate change and pollution, and how it can also be used to develop sustainable solutions and address environmental challenges. It investigates the ethical considerations surrounding the development and deployment of technologies that impact the environment. Week 6, Final Project. Advanced Linguistic Anthropology, explaining your final project. 1. Choose a focus: language ideology. How are beliefs about language used to justify social inequalities, e.g. language purity, standard versus non-standard dialects? Analyze how language ideologies shape educational policies, media representations, or immigration debates. Language and power. How is language used to maintain or challenge power structures, e.g. legal discourse, political speeches, workplace communication? 1. Examine how language choices, accent, vocabulary, register signal social status, authority, or inclusion/exclusion. Point 2. Language and identity. How does language contribute to the construction of individual and collective identities, e.g. ethnic identity, gender identity, professional identity? 3. Investigate how language use varies across different social groups and how these variations reflect and shape social relationships. Point 4. Language change and social change. How do linguistic changes reflect and influence broader social and cultural transformations, e.g. globalization, technological advancements, social movements? Analyze how language innovations, e.g. slang, New technologies emerge and spread within a community. To develop a research question, be specific, avoid broad or general questions. Focus on a particular context. Your research should be grounded in a specific social or cultural setting. Consider the how and why. Your question should explore the mechanisms and underlying reasons for the linguistic phenomena you are interested in. Example, instead of, how does language reflect culture? Try, how do immigrant youth in a specific city use code switching between their heritage language and English to negotiate their identities and social relationships in school and community settings? 3. Choose appropriate methods, ethnographic methods, participant observation, immerse yourself in the community you are studying. Point 5. Interviews, conduct in-depth interviews with key informants. Point 6. Discourse analysis, analyze naturally occurring language use, e.g. conversations, texts, media. Point 7. Linguistic analysis, phonological analysis, study sound systems and pronunciation patterns. Point 8. Syntactic analysis, examine sentence structure and grammatical rules. Point 9. Semantic analysis, investigate the meanings of words and phrases. Point 10. Data collection, collect a variety of data, such as audio recordings, video recordings, transcripts, field notes, and surveys. Point 11. 4. Conduct rigorous analysis, develop a theoretical framework, use existing theories and concepts from linguistic anthropology, e.g. language ideology, interdisciplinary, performance to guide your analysis. Pay attention to context, analyze language use in relation to the specific social, cultural, and historical contexts in which it occurs. Point 12. Be reflexive, acknowledge your own positionality as a researcher and how it may influence your research. Point 13. 5. Present your findings, write a clear and concise research paper, structure your paper logically, with a clear introduction, literature review, methodology, analysis, and discussion. Point 14. Use evidence from your data to support your arguments. Engage with relevant scholarly literature. Consider alternative presentation formats, create a multimedia presentation, a podcast, or a website to share your findings. Key concepts in advanced linguistic anthropology, language ideology, shared beliefs about the nature and value of language. Point 15. Interdisciplinary, how language points to and constructs social meanings. Performance, language as a form of social action. Point 16. Discourse analysis, the study of language in use. Point 17. Ethnography of communication, the study of language use in social contexts. Point 18. By carefully considering these points, you can develop a strong and insightful final project that demonstrates a deep understanding of advanced linguistic anthropology. Remember to consult with your professor for specific guidelines and expectations for your final project. Examples: 1. Ethnography of a gaming community. Type: ethnographic project. Focus: investigate a specific online gaming community, e.g. a World of Warcraft guild, an esports team, a niche indie game community. Methodology: participant observation, spend time actively participating in the community, observing interactions, and documenting the community's culture, norms, and values. Interviews: conduct interviews with key members of the community to gain deeper insights into their experiences, motivations, and perspectives. Data collection: collect and analyze relevant data, such as in-game chat logs, forum posts, and community-created content, e.g. fan art, videos. Research questions: how does this online gaming community function as a social and cultural space? How do players develop shared identities and social hierarchies within this community? What are the rituals, norms, and values that govern social interaction within the community? How does the community respond to challenges, conflicts, and change expected outcomes, a detailed ethnographic account of the chosen gaming community. Insights into the social, cultural, and psychological significance of online gaming. An understanding of how online communities can shape individual identities and social relationships. 2. The impact of AI on creative professions. Type: research paper. Focus: investigate the impact of AI tools, e.g. AI art generators, AI writing assistants on creative professions such as artists, writers, musicians, and designers. Methodology: literature review. Conduct a comprehensive review of academic literature on AI, creativity, the future of work, and the impact of technology on creative industries. Case studies: analyze specific examples of how AI is being used in creative fields and the impact on practitioners in those fields. Interviews: optional conduct interviews with artists, writers, or other creative professionals to gather their perspectives on the use of AI in their work. Research questions: how are AI tools changing the creative process and the nature of creative work? What are the ethical considerations surrounding the use of AI in creative production? How will AI impact the job market for creative professionals? What are the potential benefits and drawbacks of AI for creativity and innovation? Expected outcomes: a well-researched and insightful analysis of the impact of AI on creative professions. A critical examination of the ethical and social implications of AI in the creative domain. Recommendations for navigating the challenges and opportunities presented by AI for creative practitioners. 3. Designing a human-centered AI chatbot. Type: creative project. Focus: design and develop a simple AI chatbot that prioritizes human values and ethical considerations. Methodology: conceptualization, define the purpose and intended audience of the chatbot. Design the chatbot's functionality, user interface, and conversational flow with a focus on user experience, accessibility, and ethical considerations, e.g. avoiding bias, protecting user privacy. Development: optional, develop a basic prototype of the chatbot using available AI tools and platforms. Evaluation: test the chatbot with a small group of users and gather feedback on its usability, effectiveness, and ethical implications. Research questions: how can AI chatbots be designed to be more human-centered and respectful of user needs and values? What are the ethical considerations that must be addressed when designing and developing AI chatbots? How can we ensure that AI chatbots are used responsibly and do not perpetuate harmful biases or discrimination? Expected outcomes: a well-designed and documented chatbot prototype that demonstrates an understanding of human-centered AI design principles. A critical reflection on the ethical and social implications of AI chatbot technology. A portfolio showcasing the design process, the chatbot prototype, and the evaluation findings. 4. An ethnography of algorithmic governance in a smart city. Type: ethnographic project. Focus: this project will delve into the socio-cultural impacts of algorithmic governance within a specific smart city. Methodology: participant observation, immerse oneself in the chosen smart city environment, observing how citizens interact with smart technologies, e.g. traffic management systems, surveillance cameras, smart grids. In-depth interviews: conduct semi-structured interviews with city officials, residents, and key stakeholders, e.g. technology developers, community activists, to understand their perspectives on algorithmic governance. Data analysis: analyze publicly available data related to the city's smart technologies, such as policy documents, news articles, and social media discussions. Critical discourse analysis: analyze official city communications, advertising campaigns, and public discourse surrounding the implementation of smart technologies. Research questions: How do algorithmic systems shape the everyday lives of citizens in this smart city? What are the power dynamics at play in the design, implementation, and governance of these algorithmic systems? How do citizens perceive and experience the surveillance and data collection associated with smart city technologies? What are the ethical considerations and potential social justice implications of algorithmic governance in this context? How can citizens meaningfully participate in the design and governance of the smart city? Expected outcomes, a nuanced ethnographic account of the social and cultural impacts of algorithmic governance in a specific urban context. A critical analysis of the power dynamics and ethical considerations associated with the use of algorithms in urban planning and governance. Recommendations for more equitable, inclusive, and human-centered approach.
Living bones piecing together our past. Histories held in fossil shadows that cast. Knowledge from the ancients, tales we unearth. Societies understood since mankind's birth. Anthropologists in trenches, dirt on their hands, revealing secrets buried deep in lands. Cultural relics, ancient scripts and stones. Sociologists study stats, war chasing bones. Anthropology reigns, sociology feels. Understanding life through primordial reels. From the caves to the streets, stories unfold. Ancient rituals, echoes from the old. Carbon dating artifacts telling time. Living reflections of a lost paradigm. Genes tell a story, evolution scribes. Sociologists and surveys, anthropology vibes. Tribes round the fire, rituals innate. Society's technicolor, past and fate. Ethnographic studies, living with the tribe. Sociologists crunching numbers, kinda jive. Anthropology reigns, sociology feels. Understanding life through primordial reels. From the caves to the streets, stories unfold. Ancient rituals, echoes from the old. Anthropology reigns, sociology feels. Understanding life through primordial reels. From the caves to the streets, stories unfold. Ancient rituals, echoes from the old. Telling time, living reflections of a lost paradigm. Genes tell a story, evolution scribes. Sociologists and surveys, anthropology vibes. Tribes on the fire, rituals innate. Society's technicolor, past and fate. Ethnographic studies, living with the tribe. Sociologists crunching numbers, kinda jive. Anthropology reigns, sociology feels. Understanding life through primordial reels. From the caves to the streets, stories unfold. Ancient rituals, echoes from the old. Anthropology reigns, sociology feels. Understanding life through primordial reels. From the caves to the streets, stories unfold. Ancient rituals, echoes from the old.